I've been seeing a lot of CollegeBoard hate in this pandemic. I want you to just take a step back for a moment. Imagine you're an academic organization that makes over $1 billion a year. You practically have a monopoly on standardized testing, the ACT being the only major test people are even familiar with that falls outside of your domain. Somewhat comically, considering that your business runs on monkeys scribbling on paper before other monkeys review those scribbles, your brand image is either an intimidating dystopian overlord, the embodiment of the vices of capitalism, or just the harbinger of stressful tests. Still, everyone hates you. Nearly 500,000 people signed up to take an AP Calculus exam, and now a pandemic spreads across the country. Are you going to just walk away with the academic blood of the classes of 2020 through 24 on your hands? Of course not. So, the show must go on. And you'll give them the show, alright. This is the tale of 2020's AP exams. Let's take a step back and look at CollegeBoard's symbiotic relationship with colleges. These institutions are delegating the extremely important power of academically assessing prospective students to a third party. If 2020's AP scores become infamous for cheating, that's less trust in CollegeBoard in an environment where colleges are already doing away with standardized tests, and it could even cause potential lawsuits for functionally nullifying millions of tests. So, CollegeBoard really didn't want people to cheat. Like, really. Though some people don't want to admit it, they made some smart moves in achieving this goal. Rather than spread their defenses thin to stop cheaters, CollegeBoard decided to concede a lot of what constitutes cheating.
The exams will be open book, open notes, so you can use resources from your class or teacher. You can search the internet during your exam, but we strongly advise against it. The information won't be helpful for your responses, and searching will waste valuable time.
Wasting valuable time might seem like nothing more than fluffy language to the future Mensa out there, but CollegeBoard has explicitly stated that they would design the exams to have more parts than can be reasonably answered within the time limit. Another unstated consequence of this is that if one were to confer with other people, assuming the same form, they'd be wasting extremely valuable time to give or request help. Anyway, they've clearly redesigned the exams, and you can assume they're also going to make sure the answers and key concepts can't be Googled. That threat was real, whether most people knew it or not. Still didn't stop some people. Well, what counts as cheating then? After all, students can basically use absolutely anything, from Google to Wolfram Alpha, with one exception.
But you can't consult with anyone during the exam, including other test takers or family members.
The ramifications of getting caught doing this are immense.
Any student who gains an unfair advantage will have their scores canceled, and the incident will be reported to their high school and college admissions offices.
Even more, they threatened contacting law enforcement. No one bought it, but still, they were putting all of their cards on the table. As a side note, much to the dismay of the old world, CollegeBoard decided to make tests start at the same time globally. I don't really feel like this should even need commentary. This isn't CollegeBoard's fault. It was either this or no test at all. It feels condescending beyond my control to explain that this would make cheating much easier if they did not do this. On top of this, a day before the exam, a Discord server dedicated to cheating was busted, resulting in this tweet that caused quite a panic. So not only are there an uncountable amount of forums, because why wouldn't they do that, but even if you manage to get people together, who would take time out of their exam to stop and solve your problems for you? That is, assuming you'd even get a remotely similar problem to someone else, and if this attempt at cheating even has one leak to the public internet, you're guaranteed to get booted out of college, and if you're anything but a senior, you won't be able to take any College Board test for the rest of high school, and you're practically under the boot of a testing monopoly. And knowing all of that, good luck convincing people to cheat with you in the first place. Bravo, College Board. Bravo. That's the context for u/dinosaur313. Considering everything I've praised so far, you might find this particular College Board strategy to be at best out of place and at worst a definite student satire. Still, College Board has said they would be posting information online to confuse cheaters, and I haven't seen any evidence of College Board doing this anywhere else. But also, they explicitly called out, by name, Reddit as a prohibited social medium. And to me, it overall genuinely feels like this is less satire and more like someone actually pretending to be a young person. Really, it's up to you. But I only want to address this first because dinosauce is much better appreciated knowing it's not satire. April 1st, 2020, u/dinosauce313 is created. They couldn't have picked a better date. Considering how put together this year's AP exams were, I find it extremely plausible they planned this more than a month in advance and created the Reddit account back then. If this were satire, it probably wouldn't be this old, though it's not entirely impossible someone saw the online exam announcement and immediately had the idea to make the account. May 10th, 2020, the day before the first AP exam. Dinosauce creates the first post in r/APtest2020, a subreddit of which that account is the sole moderator and creator. It read as follows. AP Physics C Mechanics. Time is undoubtedly going to be tight, so ensure all questions and replies are concise. Do not give up on the system and participate where you can. The only thing keeping us from success is a little anonymous cooperation. If finished with extra time, consider sharing a link to your document, or a document with a picture of your work. Do not plagiarize. Please indicate identifying version details if discussing a test. Taking this post as is without any outside information, there are a few red flags. Some teenagers can be a bit awkward, but nothing to this extent, especially considering the average AP student without qualms regarding cheating would have a much more flippant and slangy attitude than this, probably saying something like, "Let's skirt College Board because they ain't fleek." Okay, but seriously, genuine calls for cheating don't sound like this. Do not give up on the system, and the only thing keeping us from success is a little anonymous cooperation. Both read like a caricature of a movie antagonist. There are a few other minor clues to spot. Overall, nothing worth talking about, but I will point out that no one, and I mean absolutely no one, was expecting Form O to be plastered on the screen. Really, College Board? You think we're that naive? Did I mention that they made this the subreddit description too? On the same day, Dinosauce made similar posts for E&M and Gov, but a certain oversight began to become apparent. It's common for someone to be taking both AP Physics Cs, which explains why they'd care to risk facilitating cheating, and it's a little bit of a stretch to be taking AP Gov on top of that, but after many more similar threads were posted, it's apparent that this Dinosauce persona is meant to be trying to organize a whole ring of cheating threads on a public forum, and the fact that College Board thinks someone would do this is laughable. Let's take a step back. Dinosauce offers no motivations, while many anti-College Board people love to defame them at every corner. Dinosauce has tried to facilitate cheating on a public forum for every single exam, while most people would generally only trust their friends and only help out on exams they're taking. Dinosauce313 talks like a supervillain. Did I mention they chose the name Dinosauce313 and used it to make one account? Obviously, no one fell for this. Even if people never even came across Dinosauce before, meaning they never got the chance to review the evidence for themselves, the primary way people heard about the account was others pointing and laughing at it. r/APtest2020 quickly descended into anarchy, presumably because the only moderator was a 40-year-old being paid minimum wage who probably doesn't even know how Reddit works. r/APtest2020, Twitter, and the r/AP Students Discord all became outlets for College Board-induced rage, but primarily r/APtest2020. At first, people thought u/dinosauce313 was hilarious, but the account's karma quickly fell from 500 to 100 in a day and then to 0, where it has remained ever since, as the fury of AP students descended on CollegeBoard's Trap subreddit. I'm going to keep the rest of the video brief so this doesn't turn into a video essay, but basically, May 11th, 2020. CollegeBoard reports only 2% of mechanics test takers had issues, but Twitter was flooded with horror story after horror story of failed submissions. The reassurance that you could file for a June retake did nothing more than fan the flames, as people even had issues doing that. This tweet evidently didn't help much. It was on the surface a disaster. People even turned that 2% figure into the much more threatening 1,000. r/APTest 2020's memes and subtle flood of pornography began to increasingly be interrupted by hate. Let's take a brief moment to address these technological difficulties. I know AP exams are a stressful time, but look, technology isn't perfect. It was either this or no APs. What's CollegeBoard supposed to do? Get the magic technicians that everyone yells at to fix every tech problem imaginable? I understand that some people aren't as fortunate as others to have access to technology, but for the rest of you, there comes a point where the fact that you're not comfortable using a computer in the 21st century is going to disadvantage you, and CollegeBoard can only do so much about that. CollegeBoard themselves said most problems were with outdated browsers, something they very clearly warned about in the AP demo, which, to be honest, I can't imagine had a very high completion rate. These problems aside, you can't just go all Karen on CollegeBoard and demand that the IT world spit out a website that works for 100% of its users in such a short notice. It's ridiculous to demand the fixes be practically instantaneous a day after launch, as some people are. They need time to fix the major issues, hence the June makeup, and though less common, some things can't be fixed, like blatant user error, contributing to that 2% statistic. In the end, the best anyone could do in this situation is practically damage control. Back to the madness. May 12, 2020. Someone floods the subreddit with hentai and others follow suit. Dinosauce has the audacity to post this meme. Really? When I saw that meme being circulated, I thought someone else made it as some fifth world joke with no punchline. Nope. As if it weren't already blatantly apparent for a while. Dinosauce decides to post this, presumably waiting so long between posts because the person behind the account had to figure out how to make a meme again. Let's hop back over to the hentai. Still scrolling, huh? Astute observation, buddy. What's Dinosauce doing to stop this? Making a new rule. Well, that didn't help much. This post still remains one of the top posts on the subreddit as of May 14th. Although I've seen some people say posts got taken down, there's a lot more than cartoon graphic material here, and that's all I'll say. May 13th, 2020, Dinosauce made an Instagram. It has a single post and it's just a repost of one of Dinosauce's other amazing memes. A day later, the repost has been taken down. So they know they can delete posts, and instead of moderating what has become Reddit's last bastion of AP test takers, they opt for diversifying their social media presence? Bravo once more, bravo. May 14th, 2020, the day I recorded this. u/dinosauce313 posts this meme. I don't really have any words at this point. They realize the ship is sinking, so they figured they'd try and reach out one last time to take people down with them. I can't imagine it's going to be very effective. I can't find a nice clean source to cite, but CollegeBoard has 100% confessed to Dinosauce. I figured I wouldn't update the script because, well, it's about the journey and not the destination. What I didn't mention just a second ago is that, along with other Dinosauce memes, the original, the legendary, the glorious, the first Dinosauce meme was taken down. But the spirit of the image will forever live on my hard drive at least. I can't honestly rationalize why there's so much hate for Dinosauce in particular, besides people purging their test day frustrations. People genuinely considered suing CollegeBoard for this, but found out they couldn't. Personally, I find that a bit baffling. As we come to an end, let's just take a step back to admire some of these memes. As for me, I took both AP Physics Cs and AP Calculus BC. I took the first exam of the season, and I, like pretty much everyone else, at the very least considered, even for just a moment, the idea of cheating. Thankfully, this isn't Minority Report. As much as CollegeBoard gets hate, you've got to give them props for how far they went to not only catch cheaters, but to make cheating unviable. Dinosauce aside, CollegeBoard had many effective strategies. They threw all of their weight around to fearmonger, and they ensured, by the very structure of the exams, that cheating would actively disadvantage cheaters. I'd say my motives for making this fall under journalism and commentary, but if I had a thesis, I'd like for people to take a step back. Take dinosauce as the meme that it is. Calm down and understand that this was rigged against CollegeBoard from the start. CollegeBoard tried to make the best of a bad situation, and people made the worst of it. You can call them a false nonprofit all you want, but throwing a fit because they used everything at their disposal to prevent cheating, accidentally making some great comic relief in the process, isn't going to be productive. There's honestly a lot I could have talked about, but I didn't want this to be a documentary. Now, for a cheesy second-person call to action, if you still have any, don't cheat on your AP exams. It's not worth it, and good luck.